Hey, friends, welcome back to Success by Design, the podcast where we help interior designers design not just beautiful spaces, but businesses that work beautifully for your life. I am your host, Katie Decker Erickson, an interior designer, multifamily strategist, and coach for designers who want to thrive in every season of business and not just the easy ones. Today, I'm so excited to kick off a brand new 3-part series called Interior Designer's Survival Guide Through Economic Uncertainty. Let's call it what it is. The economy feels shaky, interest rates are high, clients are cautious, and confidence can feel like it's in short supply. But here's the truth. While you can't control the broader economy, you can control your pricing, your positioning, and your profit strategy. So this first episode, part 1, we're calling it Pricing with Confidence in a Shaking Economy, is all about how to structure your pricing, what to say no to, and how to protect your value when fear starts to creep in. Then in part 2, we're going to talk about how to create demand in a slow market. And in part 3, we'll wrap the series with how to build a resilient business foundation. And because I want to take this conversation even deeper, we're hosting a live interactive webinar on October 20th. That's this coming Monday, where we'll bring all 3 parts together with real-world examples, Q&A, and actionable steps you can implement right away. You can register right now by heading over to fixmydesignbiz.com. That's fixmydesignbiz.com. Seats are limited, so don't wait and miss your spot. All right, let's get started. You know how every episode starts around here. 2 truths and a lie, and let's see if you can spot the lie this time. Number 1, truth or not. You should lower your prices during a down economy so clients are more likely to hire you. Number 2, clients are more emotionally driven by trust and clarity than by discounts. Number 3, having a cash reserve in your business can help you make better creative and pricing decisions. Got your guess? Well, stick around. I'll reveal the lie at the end. Let's talk about the elephant in the showroom as we get underway. The economy feels weird right now. We're in this mix of high interest rates, cautious consumer confidence, and people holding onto their cash a little tighter. And when this happens, designers often start to panic. They think, maybe I should offer a discount. Maybe I'll just throw in a free consultation. Maybe clients won't pay my rate anymore. But let's zoom out for a second. Harvard Business Review did a deep dive into small business pricing in economic uncertainty, and they found the companies who maintain their pricing but clearly communicate value outperform those who discount. By how much? 30% over a 2-year period. Why do you think this is? Well, when you discount, you don't just lower the price, you lower the perceived value. And design is all about perceived value. When you start giving things away, you train clients to see your expertise as optional. And expertise is never optional. It's the difference between a project that works and one that falls apart. All right, let's get practical. Hourly versus lump sum versus hybrid pricing. Which model makes sense in this economic environment? When money feels tight, how should you charge? There's no one size fits all, I'll be honest, but here's how I want you to think about it. Hourly is great for smaller open-ended projects like consulting, designer for a day sessions, or when scope is unclear, which is why we use it in our firm because we work on commercial projects. There's often many people involved, the scope creeps, and we want to account for it. This type of pricing protects you when projects expand, and they always do. Lump sum, though, can be really great if you have a clearly defined deliverable and you can forecast your time and profit margin accurately. It's also easier for clients to budget, and it all feels nice and neat in one number. Hybrid, which is also one of my favorites, combines the two. Fixed fees for design phases and hourly for open-ended design phases. That flexibility can be a lifesaver in a shifting economy like we're seeing now. But here's the golden rule. Whichever pricing model you use, it must be rooted in data, not in emotion. That means tracking your hours, knowing your overhead, and setting your profit margin intentionally. If you're just picking numbers based on what feels reasonable, you're flying blind. Designers who survive and thrive in tough markets know their numbers cold. And let me add this. Now is the time to make sure you're working with a great CPA. not just an accountant, not just a bookkeeper, and no offense to those professions, but you need a CPA to help you strategize and not just file. They're going to help you see the story your numbers are telling before it becomes a problem. And even better yet, if you haven't started working on your KPIs or your key performance indicators, now's the time. Tracking those metrics will show you what's actually moving the needle in your business. If you want help setting those up or interpreting them, that's something I coach to all the time. And when you're ready to level up, reach out to me. I'd be honored to help. Let's talk about service models, designer for a day versus a full service design. And really, these don't have to be pitted against each other because not every client will want or need the same thing, especially in this economy. The designer for a day model has exploded over the past few years, and for good reason. It's approachable, efficient, and profitable only when it's done right. But this is important. It's not a discounted version of full service. It's a different service. Think of it like this. Full service design is a 5-course meal. Designer for a day is a chef's tasting menu. Both are delicious, both are high value, but they're structured differently and priced accordingly. So instead of lowering your full service rates, you can offer smaller defined options with clear outcomes and boundaries. That lets clients engage at the level they can afford without devaluing your expertise. In fact, this is exactly why we partnered with an intellectual property attorney to create distinct residential and commercial contracts that are now available on our website at successbydesign.coach. Because clear scope and clear contracts lead to happy clients and great projects, regardless of their size. All right, should you offer free consultations or discounts? Let's be crystal clear here. The short answer is absolutely not under any circumstances. In a shaky economy, you might be tempted to give a little away to get your foot in the door. I have heard from so many of you that have tried this, and the same thing rings true. It never works. Here's what actually happens. You attract clients who value discounts, not design. And clients who come in on discounts rarely turn into dream clients. When you charge for your time, even an initial consultation, you are setting the tone that your expertise has value. You're saying, I'm a professional, not a hobbyist. And here's what's fascinating. Behavioral economics back this up. In a study of service-based businesses, customers who paid even a nominal consultation fee were 40% more likely to hire and 60% more likely to follow through on projects. Why is that? Well, because they're literally invested. When people pay, they pay attention. So instead of giving things away, focus on clear deliverables and client experience. That is your competitive edge. And remember, residential design is a luxury service, and that is okay. Not everyone can afford you. You're not for everyone, you're for the right ones. Now let's shift gears for a second, because pricing isn't about spreadsheets, it's about self-worth. When the economy feels unstable, fear creeps in. You start comparing yourself to others, wondering if you're charging too much, or worrying clients will walk away. Here's the truth. Confidence is contagious. When you believe in the value of what you bring, your clients will too. I want you to anchor your mindset around service, not survival. You're not charging for time, you're charging for transformation. And one of the best ways to stay grounded in that mindset is to have a reserve fund. Even just having 1 to 2 months of operating expenses in the bank changes how you show up for you and your clients. You stop taking projects from panic. You start negotiating from peace. That reserve isn't just financial, it's emotional, and it is your creative oxygen. Let's look at what the numbers say about everything that I have shared with you today. According to Deloitte's 2025 Small Business Forecast, nearly 60% of service-based businesses raised prices slightly in the last 12 months, even with economic uncertainty. Why is this? Well, labor, materials, and software costs have all increased, and we have all felt it. Holding prices flat actually means your profit margin is shrinking. The most successful businesses didn't race to the bottom. They streamlined services, tightened systems, communicated value clearly, and invested in marketing that built trust. And guess what? That's exactly what I'm seeing the designers I coach do. They're not panicking and they're not pivoting. They're digging in deeper. So stop pivoting and start doing what you know you're supposed to do for your business. When you have a strong foundation, you don't need to change direction every time the wind blows. You can just hold steady and execute what you know. So, what is the secret sauce in this kind of economy? I call it the three C's. The first one, clarity. Know exactly who you serve and what problem you solve for them. When your messaging is clear, clients self select faster and pricing conversations get much easier. Your second C is consistency. Keep showing up, keep marketing, keep sharing your process. In uncertain times, visibility builds trust. And your final C is confidence. Stand by your value. Refine your offers. Stop apologizing for being good at what you do. That combination of clarity, consistency, and confidence is what I call the resilient design trifecta. It's the difference between surviving and thriving when everyone else is playing it safe. Let's get real honest here and talk about getting your financial house in order. If your pricing feels fuzzy or inconsistent, that's a symptom, not the root problem. It's often a sign that your financial foundation needs some attention. So here are some action steps that you can take this week. 5 specifically. 1, review your expenses. What's essential versus what's nice to have? 2, run a profit margin check on your top 3 services. Are you actually making money? And if so, how much? Number 3, audit your payment terms. Are they protecting your cash flow? And 4, create a replenisher's reserve fund. Even small, consistent deposits add up. And lastly, raise your rates if they no longer align with your value or your costs or your competitors. This isn't about greed, it's about sustainability. When your business is healthy, you can serve better, create freely, and weather uncertainty. All right, time for those 2 truths and a lie. Number 1, you should lower your prices during a down economy so clients are more likely to hire you. Number 2, clients are more emotionally driven by trust and clarity than by discounts. Number 3, having a cash reserve can help you make better decisions. I hope that after listening to this episode, you already know that number 1 is the lie. Lowering your prices doesn't make you more hireable, it makes you more replaceable. Design is not a commodity, it is a partnership. And here's the good news. I'm still seeing designers succeed big time right now. They're landing new clients, raising their prices, and streamlining their businesses, even in this economy. The key, they know who they are, they know what they offer, and they price with confidence and clarity. Because when you believe in your own value, your business follows suit. So as we move through the final quarter of 2025, I want you to ask yourself, is my financial house in order? Do my prices reflect the value I bring? Am I leading with confidence or with fear? You can't control the economy, but you can absolutely control your response to it, and that's where your power lies. If this episode hit home, if you're ready to tighten your pricing, gain clarity, or just talk through how to thrive during this next season, I would love to help. Please join me for a one-on-one 15-minute free problem-solving session. You can go to successbydesign.coach and let's pinpoint where you can get confident, more profitable, and more grounded. No panic, no discounts, just strategy that works. Because your design business deserves to thrive no matter what's happening out there. As we always say, remember, your business should be working for you, not you working for it.